In the last couple of hours that the city of Chicago has impounded a migrant bus for the first time. The city council passing a measure today to start impounding buses that do not obtain a permit from CDOT and don't drop the migrants off at the designated landing zone. Now, after the vote, Mayor Johnson spoke about the need for the ordinance to make sure new arrivals are brought to an area where city employees are ready to help.
Putting these companies on notice that this blatant disregard of the city regulations will not be tolerated.
The mayor telling us tonight that multiple buses could be impounded.
Meanwhile,
And Judy, right now, 25th Ward Alderman Byron Siccho Lopez has just gone into the shelter to conduct what he calls an emergency walkthrough of a place that, according to city records, houses as many as 2,300 migrants, and where, according to those we have spoken to today, there might be an outbreak of illness amongst both children and adults. From the outside, this six-story warehouse is nothing but a nondescript building along an industrial stretch of Halsted and Pilsen. But for months now, it's been housing thousands of migrants. And last night, a 5-year-old boy died following what appears to have been a medical emergency that many of those who live here say began inside a bathroom.
Little Brandon Johnson, man, this guy been totally unaware that his policies are the ones that cost us. I mean, his policies are the ones that cost us. He's complaining about the GOP again. He's complaining about Greg Abbott in Texas sending him migrants. How dare him? How dare him send him just a fraction of what he gets? And again, man, maybe they wouldn't send them to you if you weren't a sanctuary city, a virtue signaling bullshit city. And again, maybe they wouldn't send them out there. But the reason why they are is because, man, he's calling your bluff and he's doing so very well. But again, we don't know. Unfortunately, this 5-year-old kid passed away. But again, we don't know where he got sick. We don't know what he was exposed to. We don't know. We have no idea. Again, these people that come from across the border. We don't know where they came from. We don't know who they were in contact with. We don't know. But again, man, people like Brandon Johnson, they want everything set up like this. They want open borders. They want to, claim they're helping, all these people and everything else. And Greg Abbott saying, "Hey, look, man, if you want just a fraction of what we get, we'll give it to you." And that's what's happening. And Brandon Johnson, he's so mad. But guys, watch this.
For the family, and we are obviously deeply sorry and hurt by this loss. And it's not lost on any of us here that the conditions in which people are showing up in Chicago, they're worse. The last reporter just indicated, they're just dropping all people anywhere. Do you understand how raggedy and how evil that is? You're just gonna put people on a bus and just take them somewhere and drop them off in the middle of the night? And then you wanna hold us accountable for something that's happened down at the border? It's sickening. And so, but just know that our work is not done. But let's be very clear. You know where this is promulgating from, right? You do know that, right? That you have a governor in Texas that can care less about those families and literally dropping them off, not just in Chicago, but anywhere and everywhere. It's wicked.
Again, Brandon, what's happening is these people are coming across that southern border, like 2.5 million plus a year, and they're sending you a fraction of what they're dealing with. Again, we have a real big problem at that southern border. And people like you advocate for policies to keep that southern border open. And again, man, Democrats are the ones that want the border open. We want to help everyone. And man, we can't help everyone. All we're doing is we're tearing this country down. But people like Brandon, man, they want to help everyone. And they can't. They truly can't. And then they get mad when they get a fraction of that sent to them. They get mad. Oh, we're so mad. And again, man, maybe, just maybe, you might have a few more resources if you put Java right there on a diet. I mean, seriously, man. But yeah, I mean, we got to recognize, guys, that if you're a sanctuary city and that's what you advocate, you call yourself that, that's what you project yourself out there to be, that you want to help everyone, and that you're great people with big hearts and everything else, and then they send you a fraction of what they get right there in Texas. They send you a fraction, and you get mad.
Can you confirm those details? Is the administration and the city investigating whether medical help?
We're gathering information, as I've said before, at every single site throughout the city of Chicago. We provide on-site medical care. In fact, the county government has just put forth more dollars for more health care. But I want you to hear me good. They're showing up sick. Do you hear me? They're showing up sick. The issue is not just how we respond in the city of Chicago, it's the fact that we have a governor, an elected official in the state of Texas that is placing families on buses without shoes, cold, wet, tired, hungry, afraid, traumatized, and then they come to the city of Chicago where we have homelessness, we have mental health clinics that have been shut down and closed. You have people who are seeking employment. The governor of Texas needs to take a look in the mirror of the chaos that he is causing for this country. This is not just a Chicago dynamic. He is attacking our country. The sensibility and the civility of our country, he is undermining that. It's all good. We good. Yes.
Mayor, given what's happened at the shelter this morning and what is, we've seen more ambulances show up there, is it time to reevaluate using these warehouses as places for shelter activities?
So I want to make sure I understand your question. Hold on, I got you. I just want to repeat back to me. I'm going to repeat to you what I believe you're asking me. You're asking me, based upon an out-of-control governor who is sending busloads of people all over the country, you're asking if Chicago should reevaluate how it handles the migrant crisis?
No, that's not what I'm asking.
Okay.
What I'm saying is that we've had at least one death at this particular shelter. We've seen more ambulances show up at this particular shelter this morning. While we were there, we saw people coming out sick. Does the city need to reevaluate the practice of using the warehouses, which were never designed for human habitation, as a solution in the migrant crisis?
As I said before, they are showing up sick. Listen, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but it sounds like you're drawing a conclusion based upon a site. What I'm simply saying is when they get here, hold on. Listen, I am saying that they're showing up sick. Are you hearing me? They're showing up sick. And so we are doing everything in our power to treat the conditions in which they're arriving in. As far as us reevaluating our mission, look, an international crisis of global population shift based upon policies that have been promulgated for the last 20 years that have caused not just the sanctions, but have caused displacement for the entire globe. I just want us to understand in the city of Chicago, we are not alone in this crisis. There are hundreds of thousands of people being displaced from the continent of Africa, from Central and South America. So this question about reevaluating, how about we do this? How about we reevaluate all of our international policies that are causing the chaos that we're experiencing right now, and let's evaluate the sanctity of someone in Texas who disregards people. That's what we should be reevaluating.
What Brandon is saying is we don't want people. We don't want, even though we're a sanctuary city, we don't want people sent here. We don't want them, man. They're breaking us. They're breaking the city down. They're tearing us apart. We don't want these people. It's all Greg Abbott's fault, man. It's all his fault. He is destroying us. No, you're destroying yourself. You're great, man, when it comes to, virtue signaling. Oh, we're so good, man. We love migrants. We will take anyone, as long as you don't have to actually take them. As long as you don't have to deal with the issue. You'll take whoever, man. You'll say you'll take whoever, but you really don't want them. Now, when it comes to tearing apart your city, and again, you're getting a fraction of what they're getting. So again, man, Greg Abbott is not to blame. He's not to blame for this. But again, you like to blame people. Democrats, they love to blame people. They do. And Brandon Johnson, man, a black Democrat, he loves to blame everyone, man. He'll blame white supremacy, whatever, man, for everything. And he already has, man. He's already stood up there and said that, white supremacy is, yeah. I mean, we have to truly bounce, man. This guy's a joke. He's an absolute moron. He's a buffoon. He is truly a bigot, man. He is. But, I mean, he sits there and blames Greg Abbott for the issue. Oh, if Greg Abbott wasn't sending people up here, and again, man, Greg Abbott is sending them a fraction of what he's getting. And again, it's not like Greg Abbott is going into Central America and rounding people up and sending them up there. He's not. He's sending them a fraction of what he already is getting. He's not going into other countries and rounding people up and say, come on, man. Again, this virtue signaling that you did for so long, and people like you have done over and over and over again. And now you're getting a taste, just a taste of your own medicine. And again, you have to realize, man, the problem in this country is wide open borders, man. We're letting everyone in. Shut those borders up. We are a country. We are a country. I don't care about the people right now in Central America or Africa, or wherever they're coming from. And again, they're coming from kind of a little bit of everywhere, even Asia. And again, I don't care. Shut that southern border up. We can't help anyone until we help ourselves first. And about the child that died in Chicago, yeah. Guys, we have truly got to realize, man, how is that Greg Abbott's fault? How? We don't know really what happened to the child, what the child has. We don't know. We don't know. But again, man, these people are coming across the southern border in the middle of the night sometimes. Brandon Johnson said, we get buses, all hours and everything else. Again, these people don't stop coming across. They don't. So again, man, they don't know if the people are sick. We don't know where they came from. We don't know what they're exposed to. We truly don't. But guess what? If somebody dies in your custody, whether or not you knew about it or whether or not you can't blame somebody else for it. You say that, we blame Governor Greg Abbott, man. We don't like him. He's white. We're blaming him. He's conservative. We're blaming him. No. Blame your own policies for what you have. Blame your policies for what you allowed to come into the country. Blame the way you vote. And again, man, blame your own self for having Chicago a sanctuary city. But guys, man, if you would, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment.
You son of a